and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, April 15th.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code Wondery for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code Wondery at checkout.
We begin at the Statehouse, where a big shakeup to Indiana's property tax system is one step away from becoming law. It is now on Governor Mike Braun's desk, and it could mean major funding cuts for public schools. The state Senate gave final approval just after midnight. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist reports.
The vote early Tuesday caps months of negotiations over the property tax overhaul. Now it remains to be seen what the actual impact is. The Senate voted to accept the version the House approved last week. Homeowners could claim a property tax credit of up to 10% of their total tax bill after all other deductions have been applied, up to a maximum of $300. Fixed income seniors and disabled veterans could claim additional credits. The savings would take effect with the bill you pay in 2026.
2/3 of our homeowners will pay less in 26 than they did in 25, which means 1.16 million households will receive relief. I have committed, and so has Chairman Thompson, to work on fixes if they become known to us.
The price tag, $1.4 billion over the next 3 years. That's revenue school corporations and local governments would have collected under the existing system. The bill also lowers the limit for local income tax rates to 2.9%. That's still more than almost every county in the state currently charges. Democrats say the property tax cuts won't offset expected local income tax rate hikes.
So I just want to be sure that when we talk about true property tax relief, that it's true property tax relief and that it covers everyone. Senate Bill 1 excluded close to 600,000 Hoosiers who are tenants, and they pay their property taxes through their monthly rent payments.
And just moments after that vote came down, Governor Mike Braun said in a statement he looks forward to signing the bill.
That was Garrett Berquist reporting. Also at the state capitol, the overnight passage of the property tax overhaul followed a day of protests against it. A group of teachers, parents, students, and representatives from public libraries demonstrated on all 3 floors of the State House, blasting the measure. The Legislative Services Agency says the bill will cost public schools and libraries about $800 million in funding over the next 3 years.
It's very important because if I'm not here today and we do not get the funding, are my students going to be able to benefit from me tomorrow?
Right now for Johnson County Public Library, it's unknown what the impact of the elimination of IMLS and the drastic cuts to the Indiana state budget. It's unknown exactly how that will fiscally impact us, but we are thinking that it will.
IMLS is a reference to cuts made to the Federal Institute of Library and Museum Services by the Trump administration, which could also impact public library funding. In other news, the Marion County Coroner's Office has released the name of the man killed in a crash on the Far East Side that happened following a police chase that began in Henry County. The coroner identified the crash victim as 33-year-old DeJuan Hampton. State police say the crash happened just before 9:40 last night. The chase started in New Castle and headed west on I-70 towards Indianapolis. Troopers say they were calling off the chase after the SUV exited onto Post Road. Moments later, the vehicle crashed into 2 cars and flipped several times at East Washington and Midhofer. Investigators say Hampton was thrown from the SUV and died at the scene. 3 other passengers inside were hurt. Police say the driver of one of the other cars had non-life-threatening injuries. A Frankfort teacher is facing charges accused of sex crimes, including sending inappropriate material to a student and to possess child pornography. Drew Ackridge is 27. Frankfort police arrested him Monday in Lafayette. He is charged with 2 felonies. Our team talked to a woman who claims Ackridge acted inappropriately with her daughter when she was only 15 years old. Take a listen.
He took some quiz called a purity quiz and shared the answers with my daughter and one of her friends. We haven't really taught them about grooming and what that looks like. He would often take pictures of her and her friends, and she saw pictures of lots of girls.
Frankfort schools fired a different teacher last year for inappropriate communication with the student. Superintendent Matt Rhoda says the cases are not a pattern and that the school system is working to be proactive about problems. Let's talk sports. The Indiana Fever have 3 additions to the roster this morning. The team did not have a first-round pick, but they made some solid moves, grabbing Michaela Timpson and Bree Hall in the second round and Yvonne Ejim in the third. Timpson spent 4 seasons at Florida State, putting up 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game last season as forward. She was the first pick of the second round. Later in the round, the Fever drafted Hall, a standout grad from South Carolina, who helped the Gamecocks reach 4 straight Final Fours. And in the third round, they picked up Ejim out of Gonzaga. She's a forward fresh off winning West Coast Conference Player of the Year, averaging more than 20 points and nearly 10 rebounds per game. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for a chillier and breezier day today. Meteorologist Tara Hastings has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
We're expecting a pretty blustery day. The winds are going to be picking up here. We've got winds gusting anywhere from 30 to 35 miles per hour. Zeroing in on even 40 miles per hour in some spots. We're overcast at 45 degrees in Indianapolis. Sustained winds out of the west at 23 miles per hour. That's creating a wind chill or feels like temperature at 36. So we've got some pretty chilly conditions here, not only in the morning, but into the afternoon as well. 46 right now in Lafayette, 43 in Richmond, and we're into the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. Heading out in southern sections of Indiana this morning. Wind speeds anywhere between 20 and 30 miles per hour sustained. And then at times we're going to see those winds gusting even a little bit higher, 30 to 35 miles per hour, maybe even 40 miles per hour in some locations for the day today. Overcast conditions, I think, through much of the afternoon. We'll get up to close to 50 degrees at lunchtime. And the temperatures really aren't going to climb all that much more. I think mid-50s expected across much of the state. But with these gusty winds, it'll feel more like those temperatures are into the 40s. 48 in South Bend, 47 in Fort Wayne, 51 in Richmond. And then we'll see those temperatures in the central portion of the state into the mid-50s. Some patchy frost will be possible later tonight. We do have warming conditions heading into the end of the week, and maybe even some showers and thunderstorms that could be on the stronger side for the end of the week. We'll track all of those details coming up in my 7-day forecast.
To get a peek at Tara's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, April 15th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.